back to another edition of Pure Picks. Got my man Gerard here to break down some Ankalaev and Guskov in Abu Dhabi, or was it United Emirates?
Abu Dhabi.
I think it's
Yeah.
Etihad Arena, United Arab Emirates. Gonna be an interesting card. Pretty early start time, 9 a.m. Let's recap what we got going on for last week. Yeah, man. I just want to ask you any thoughts you want to share. What do you think about last week?
Yeah, last week that card was pretty good, I think. There was a lot of excitement finally seeing Usman back, but I don't think he's the same. I think he's kind of dropped off, and yeah, we kind of broke even on this card. We had the Christian Leroy Duncan lock, the Hooper lock, and I messed up the 2-leg parlay on Montez Hooper, the underdog on Montez. I mean, he dropped the Tommy gun twice in the first round, but he couldn't withstand all the barrage and the bullying that was being thrown at him. So yeah, it was a bad break there, but yeah, I'm ready for the next one. Probably not going to be as exciting, but we'll see what we can make there.
Yeah, man, same here. I'm ready for the next one too. You know, at least we got some Delgado action. I think that was a really good value, a really good pick. Some spots we could have maybe flip-flopped or stayed away. I think I kind of fucked up on the Korean guy. Yeah. Maybe we should just rode DDP more. I think gave Usman a little too much respect, even though I still think he's a great fighter, but I think the writing was on the wall for that kind of performance there. So let's move on to, Abu Dhabi. We're just going to see what picks are good, what fights we want to talk about here. Gerard, I'll let you lead it off, man. What fight has your eye right now?
One fight that's kind of interesting. I'm kind of swinging back and forth because I feel like I got PTSD from that Kavanaugh versus Royval. And in this matchup, it's like a similar thing where it's Temirov versus Erceg. Erceg with the suspect chin, but the veteran experience. I'm leaning Temirov, but I don't know. I'm kind of scared. What are your thoughts right now for that one?
Yeah, I think that this one is a really scary fight for Erceg. My pick right now is Temirov. A reason why is we saw this guy almost got knocked out by Ode Osborne, who I think is a worse fighter than this guy that he's fighting. Honestly, the only concern I have is this Temirov guy who looks way too small for the 125-pound division even. I mean, this guy is small, man. Like, I was watching some of his fights. He was like the smaller fighter in each and every one of those fights. Positives wise, I mean, he's has some good power behind him. I like the way he throws his shots. It's one of those, I feel like he's one of those fighters that goes for the kill when he tries to throw those shots, which could serve him well in this fight. But I don't know. It's tough. I think I'm just right now fading more so Erceg and his durability. He seems to get dropped a lot, and I know Temirov isn't on the same level right now as Kai Kara France, but I can easily just see that happening as well. Just him throwing a power shot, Erceg eating it, and then just getting dropped and knocked out. He almost got dropped out by Ode Osborne, who I think is an inferior fighter to this guy. So another reason why, I mean, plus odds, I just would not want to be holding a Erceg ticket here at minus 120 even. That's like, why pay the juice on Erceg at that point? Interesting enough, he did open at plus 130 for the opening line, and he got bet to a favorite. So the odds makers, sports books, they obviously see him as a dog, and it seems like the betting population thought that he should have been a favorite. So it depends on what side you're on, right? But I think I'm gone to the sports books and the odds makers on this one. I'm not sure about Erceg's durability here. He does have some advantages. I mean, it's obviously bigger. If he gets on top of him, I think could be a tough night for Temirov. But yeah, I've just seen Erceg get dropped way too much, and I've seen him get hurt a lot. And he's just one of those fighters that may have peaked when he came to the UFC. I mean, just after fighting Tojo, I just expected a lot more from him, and he just has not delivered. So yeah, give me the dog here and the guy who got that OV at the end of his name. I like that dog value.
Yeah, I like it. I think Temirov, he has a little bit of Horiguchi in him. He like
That's a good one.
throws some spinning stuff, and he's always in and out and quick. I guess it's always those shorter guys who have to move really quick and in and out, and he has some explosive to him. I can see that could be a problem for Erceg if he can't slow him down with like grappling or just keep him at distance at the end of his shots. And yeah, this was like the similar read that I had for Kavanaugh and Royval, but these odds are way more closer. So I'll probably play Temirov, but yeah, it could end up being close. But yeah, that's going to be my side too.
Yeah, I mean, plus 100, not bad. Might consider that for our picks for sure. Fight that I wanted to talk about is, yeah, this one obviously is more of a heavier favorite, but I think this is still value at the end of the day. His odds actually just changed a few hours ago. He was a little better value. I'm talking about Nurullo Aliev versus Mike Davis. Unfortunately, I think this Mike Davis guy, if you follow him, he's doing a lot of streaming now. I'm not sure if this guy is in it as a fighter or as a top competition fighter. He can still beat Mitch Ramirez, who, I mean, we saw what that guy was doing. So, no, nothing against Mitch Ramirez, but I'm surprised that he came back for another fight in the UFC. He's probably should be done at this point because he's got finished in all his fights. Yeah, so Mike Davis, his only kind of win in the last couple of years has been Mitch Ramirez, and I just don't think that's enough. And I don't think that that's enough to fight a guy like Nurullo, who he seemed a lot better in that last fight. I've watched all of this guy's fights actually because he looks a lot like Habib. That's why I always uh, this guy looks like a Habib clone for some reason. But I've watched him. He started off as like a wet blanket against Rafael Alves. I was on him for sure because I was like, this Rafael was done. Kind of a close fight, but he pushed through and he won. Then he beat Joe Selecki at his own game, kind of, which is a good fight. I think good win too. And then the last fight, he wasn't just like a grappler, wet blanket kind of guy. Like I saw some hands in there. I saw some improved stand up for Nurullo, and Nurullo is, I think he's like 25 or something. So he's definitely the younger fighter here, fighting against Mike Davis, who's like 33. I think, just the classic one fighter that's on the ascent and then one fighter is on the descent. I think he's just going to dominate Mike Davis here. Like, I think Mike Davis, just that loss to Farzahim now. I mean, I thought Ziam was good, and God, he just got beat up by Tom Nolan like that. I was like, I think it's just overrating him. So yeah, I think Alai is going to be better everywhere. Best case scenario for Mike Davis, he might win a round just off of like maybe he has some kind of, I don't know, turn back the clock and he'll pull one off. But I can easy also see like a 30-27 or a finish on the ground. He could get submitted like he did against Yam, I think. So yeah, give me Nurullo here. I think he's going to continue to train. This guy's 11-0. He's on the Habib track for sure. So I think one more win in him. This is going to be a good one. So yeah, minus 210. I think I wouldn't mind having him in a parlay for this one.
I was looking at this card and I saw Mike Davis and I was like, I saw his odds plus 180. I really think that, or I was thinking that he might be a live dog here, plus 180, if we see the Mike Davis of old, who used to be consistent, just a complete physical freak and dominating guys with his well-rounded game, grappling and striking. He has the power, but he does seem a little slower now. And against a young Aliev, that could be a problem early on. He might be fighting from behind in the early rounds. And Aliev, he did kind of slow down a bit against Shamrock. And I don't think Shamrock is that good, but the striking that Nurullo was showing, he looked much better than he did before. And against Mike Davis, even Mitch Ramirez, it looked like Mitch Ramirez was doing some work in the early rounds against Mike Davis too. And I just view Mitch Ramirez just as a regional body who's in the UFC. And yeah, I just don't know what type of Mike Davis is gonna show up. And he's gonna be traveling across the world for this fight too. And he doesn't have an EV or OV at the end of his name, so that could be a tough one. I did want to play some Mike Davis, but I don't know. At this point of his career, it's kind of hard to know. And yeah, undefeated Aliev, this could be like bringing him up in the UFC now type of thing. So yeah, I can see your point. For me, I'm probably just gonna stay away just because Mike Davis used to look like a complete fighter, and I don't know what version is gonna show up that day if he's gonna bounce back. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, for me, I'm staying away from this one.
Yeah, and just for the line movement, Nurullo opened up at minus 220. There was a point in time where he was bet down to a minus 125, and but after a few days, he is now back to minus 210. So it's been a little bit of yo-yoing on the line movement, and we'll keep track of that and see how that goes. What other fight do you got on your mind right now?
What do you think about this? I guess this I don't know how exciting this one would be, but it's a heavyweight fight. Valter Walker versus Thomas Petersen. It,
My yeah, first reaction, I would take the dog odds on Thomas Peterson. Only reason why is that you just can't. I don't think you can continue to have the run that this guy has had. I'm talking about Walter Walker. I mean, he has a. It's a little kind of it looks kind of crazy, but he has four heel hooks in a row. It's like some people don't even have one in their career, and this guy got four in a row, all in the first round. I think he's just been fighting some absolute like horrible grapplers in the heavyweight division. They these guys just have not have the grappling to kind of keep up with him. Thomas Peterson, I know one thing he can definitely grapple. I mean, he came up as a wrestler. I just don't think he's going to get caught in that personally. I don't think he's that good even, but I think he's good enough not to get caught in that. I don't know, he might get caught in something else, but like I just have a hard time seeing how this guy who has a wrestling background is going to get caught in this heel hook for this guy's fifth heel hook win in a row. That seems a little crazy to me. Also, I just like the plus odds. I mean, I like Thomas Peterson at these odds. I think that Walter Walker is also, I don't know if he's that good either. He's just been kind of relying on these meme finishes for the heel hooks. It could end up being a 29-28 kind of deal. I mean, these two heavyweights, they seem like the kind of heavyweights who will go to the distance. Like I don't think either of them are like crazy on the feet. So it could just be one of those like brawls and kind of sloppy takedowns, defending each other. Give me Thomas Peterson plus 155 if that's the case. So that's my first reaction to this.
yeah, for Valter Walker, yeah, four heel hooks in a row. Is that a four flukes or that's a trend against Thomas Peterson, who has grappling and he has wins against Muhammad Usman, Dantel Mays, and now Guillermo Pat. I feel like I always get his fights wrong, and I want to go Valter Walker because I think Valter Walker can win even outside of round one, but he's just been facing easy grappling submissions. I mean, he was able to beat Kennedy Nchukwu, so I guess that's a pretty good win there. But I guess everyone can defend heel hooks. I mean, I don't even know if Peterson can defend a heel hook. I don't know how you can really prepare for Walter Walker's style, but yeah, I think this is tough, but I'm a side with Walter Walker. I think he can win outside of round one, even if it goes to a decision or something like that. Maybe you find a TKO against Peterson, who has had durable issues in the past. But yeah, now that I heard your side, I think I'm less confident, but I'm still going to lean Walter Walker. He has the size advantage and the length, and I don't know how successful Pearson can do if he chooses to grapple or find his way in the pocket and strike. So I'm side with Walker here.
For sure, yeah. Odds wise, Walter Walker opened up at minus 200, and there's a point in time where he's got bet down to minus 350 actually. But after a few days, now he's a minus 180. So it's a lot more. It's a lot of yo-yoing certain directions for a lot of these fights, honestly. So yeah, I think that one could be interesting. Next fight I want to talk about is this one could be kind of interesting too. I think that Rizvan Kuniev, we've been right on this guy in the past against Almeida. He got robbed against Blades, I think. So this guy should be, I think, like what, undefeated in the UFC, right? He hasn't lost, yeah. So he should be undefeated in the UFC for me. Tyrell Fortune, I'm not really too sure about this. I mean, Marcin Tybura, I thought that that guy retired already. I didn't know he actually fought again. So that's an interesting one. Yeah, give me some Kuniev here. I think that on the feet, I have Kuniev, and if Tyrell Fortune, I just don't think it's gonna work out on Tyrell Fortune side here. I think Kuniev's probably a little better everywhere. Even if there is some kind of like this guy was able to kind of handle Curtis Blades, who I think is a much better fighter than Tyrell Fortune. He was able to handle Geltin Almeida, Jail Time Almeida. I mean, I'm kind of having a hard time seeing why he's only minus 300 here. Is there like some kind of trap that I don't see? But yeah, he opened up at a minus 250. Now he's a minus 300. I think we got to go with Kuniev in a parlay for a leg here. He's actually one of my more confident plays. As confident as you can say about heavyweight, I guess. But yeah, I got Kuniev here just because of his resume, the caliber of competition that he's beaten. You know, sometimes you have to kind of think of the robberies as a win. So let's just count that as a W. If he had a W attached to his record against Blades, what would the line be here, right? Maybe it will be even worse. So I mean, I think minus 300 is kind of a steal still. Like I don't think I think it can go even higher. What do you think about this fight?
Man, that Blades fight, he was robbed in Baku. Now this is Abu Dhabi. He's gonna get robbed again. He's facing Tyrell Fortune. Yeah, I was just pretty underwhelmed when I watching Tyrell Fortune past the first round. He had a decent first round. He showed some explosiveness and his athleticism, taking down Tybura in his fast strikes. But he was slowing down from round to round, and it looked like he was trying to survive at points and try to rest a bit and just trying to get through to a decision. And against Kuniev is like, he has deceptive speed and he can fight all 3 rounds. And you saw him, couldn't do anything in the grappling against Kuniev. Same thing with Blades. He was having a hard time and yeah, he ended up winning split decision. Possibly that's Tyrell Fortune's best path is to win by split decision in the Middle East again. I want to go Kuniev minus 300. I'm probably going to play Kuniev, but I don't know. I'm just iffy on these Middle East cards, robbing Kuniev again. But yeah, I don't see Fortune having any advantages past round 1 from what I see. So yeah, I'm also on Kuniev's side here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's see what the line movement says. I mean, I think this could be interesting. Maybe we'll get a buyback. You know, maybe we'll get a lower price on Kuniev. I kind of doubt it though. As the week goes on, I think it's going to get further and further as people dig into this fight. Any other fights you got on your mind that you want to talk about?
This one right here could be a banger early in the card, similar to like the banger that we saw in Tommy Gunn versus Montez. On this card could be like a banger matchup in Ismael Bonfim versus Axel Sola. All the violence will be brought in this fight, and one of them looks great, is very talented early on in the fight in Bonfim, but we see time and time again when things get tough, he kind of breaks and kind of quits on himself when he doesn't want to push through, a little bit like a Terrence McKinney. And Axel Sola, he has a lot of tools. He looks pretty solid at this weight. He has good size and he has good cardio. And from the Mason Jones fight, he hurt Mason Jones early. Mason Jones is a little bit of a slow starter and he gets hurt early in a lot of his fights. But Axel Sola showed that he had the heart and the dog in him to go all the way to a decision against that fire fight. And Bonfim is not the guy who wants to get into a grueling fire fight for 3 rounds. If it starts to get hard, he might find a way to quit. So I'm on Axel Sola on this one. He throws a lot of different strikes there. He even can time a spinning elbow, and he fights like a Frenchman. He like stays on the outside and tries to fight his game. I just don't know if Bonfim can find the early round damage that he's looking for to find a finish on Axel Sola, who's pretty durable himself and can fight through some adversity. So I think the lines have been getting closer. It's not a minus 200 anymore. You can get him at minus 178, I think. So yeah, I like Axel Sola right here.
Yeah, I'm on the same side as you. I just for the viewers, it was minus 180 opening line, minus 178 right now. There was a couple times in point in time where it's minus 220 as high as that. Yeah, it showed me a lot in that fight. I think I was on him. I picked him against Mason Jones. It was a good fight. I mean, he showed a lot of heart. Both guys just like got banged up a lot. I mean, their faces were like super bloody. Yeah, I just hope that feel like he just fought Mason Jones like recently, from what I remember.
March 21.
Yeah, it's like a few months ago. I think he should be okay. Because I'm just a little worried sometimes when someone takes that much head damage. Like he's got knocked around a lot. I mean, he was dishing it out too. It's not like he was just like taking it. So I think that's a good sign. But he's still young enough. Like 28, should be going to the prime of his career. Just one of those fights where maybe you just trade some longevity in return. But I think he should be okay. I can't say the same about Ismael Bonfim. I mean, I have not seen him in a firefight yet for various reasons. Yeah, it's just I can't get behind a guy like Ismael Bonfim at this point. It's one thing that I think that one thing that is just like negative EV is getting behind a fighter who has proven himself to have questionable heart. You can be a lot of things in the cage, but if you have a lot of just strange stoppages and just getting knocked out or getting finished, and it's just the way that he gets finished too is not a good look. So yeah, I gotta ride with Axel. Axel is also a really good fighter. I think I think Mason Jones is also a good fighter. So I mean, we'll see what happens when this fight happens. But I think that Sola has a lot more in him. He showed really well against Mason Jones, who man, Mason Jones has a lot of skill. Like he can do takedowns, he can do striking. He's a fucking dog. So it's a lot to like about Mason Jones. I think that's a really tough fight. Yeah, I gotta go with Sola here. I think he's probably gonna get the knockout. Honestly, like you said, also minus 178. Now you get a cheaper price too. So I would not mind Sola at the in a parlay here. Yeah, or Sola inside the distance. Why not? Like why not just have him sitting in there, fade Bonfim even more. To Bonfim's credit, I mean, yeah, I can't even say that because I thought his last win was Vince Pichel, so can't really say much about that. I thought he had a more recent win, to be honest, but that's it's a little worrying that his last win was over like a guy who I'm pretty sure is like close to 50 years old. So yeah, I think I gotta go Sola here. I think that's all the fights I had in my mind right now. Did you have anything else?
I guess we could have like quick thoughts on the main event.
Yeah.
Ankalaev, Guskov. This one, obviously, I think I'm going Ankalaev here. He's a big favorite. Guskov might have a chance in the first round, maybe early part of round two for me. But I think the fight goes on, I think Ankalaev is going to drown him out, whether if he grapples or just piecing him up from the outside with better cardio. So yeah, I'm on Ankalaev here. I'm probably not going to bet it though. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm on Ankalaev too. See, it's interesting. Like, I think I'll pick Ankalaev, but just because of the way Guskov fights, he does have that chance of the knockout. And I mean, he's not Alex Pereira or anything, but I mean, we saw this dude just get bum rushed and knocked out in the first round last fight. So who's to say that Guskov can't just come in with the hands low and do the same thing? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's Ankalaev is a good counter striker. He'll probably catch Guskov coming in, especially with the way this guy fights. I mean, it's like a worse Yuri Prohaska. Like he just defensively irresponsible. I mean, he's probably gonna get knocked out, but why not? I mean, I want to actually what are the odds right now for his first round KO line? I think that could be interesting if it's out right now. Let me see. Yeah, Guskov first round KO is plus 1150, but Ankalaev first round KO is also plus 325. I think this fight's gonna finish early, to be honest. I think inside one. Yeah, so I think I might want to take the under here. Under over 2.5. I think the under 2.5 might be good. Minus 155. It's just the reason why is I think Guskov he's taking this fight because it's a amazing opportunity for him. He's going from fighting on Bohovic and wasn't that just like a rematch? Like I feel like didn't they fight So like I don't know why that was a weird what a weird rematch that was. But he's going from doing a rematch with Jan to now going for Ankalaev, who just was the champion previously. So this would be a big up fight for him. If he gets the knockout, he's right in title contention for sure. He's like one of the first few names in title contention, especially with the way 205 is right now. Yes, I mean, he had to take this opportunity. Unfortunately, it might be too much for him. He might not be ready for a guy like Ankalaev, but yeah, I think I got to go Ankalaev first round knockout here. That's probably what's going to happen. I think Guskov's going to go for it. He's going to try his best, but he's probably just going to get caught down the middle with something like really quick that he's probably not going to see coming while he's trying to throw all those like power shots. So yeah, I think that's how the fight's going to go. But why not take a .1 flyer, .1 unit flyer on Guskov, a round one knockout for the good times? I think that's what my analysis is on that.
Damn, 1150. That's crazy.
Yeah, 1150. Not bad. All right. Well, I think that about does it for this fight night with Ankalaev and Guskov in Abu Dhabi. I think this could be a fun one in the morning for sure. Best of luck, everybody. And yeah, we'll be back for the next video.